video is to present, analyze, and provide a narrative and submissions on the future performance of the ongoing construction of the narrow gauge railway track from Port Harcourt City in the old eastern region of Nigeria to Maiduguri City in the north central region of Nigeria. After many months of delays due to unjustifiable, dubious political reasons, it was reported that work has finally resumed on the eastern narrow gauge railway line network that runs from Port Harcourt City in Rivers State in the old eastern region of Nigeria to Maiduguri City in Borno State in the old north central region of Nigeria. Moreover, it was recently reported that the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation Limited, the company that is installing the tracks, has completed the laying of the narrow gauge tracks from Port Harcourt City to Aba City on the ongoing Nigeria Eastern Narrow Gauge Railway Project. This project is expected to link Rivers State, Abia State, Imo State, Enugu State, Ebonyi State, Anambra State, Benue State, Nasarawa State, Plateau State, Kaduna State, Bauchi State, Gombe State, Yobe State, and Borno State when completed and operational. However, the main issue of discussion in this video is why the Nigerian Buhari federal government administration decided to install narrow gauge tracks on the Eastern Railway network instead of the standard tracks that have been installed in other regions of Nigeria. Why? The answer is why. It is a known fact that Igbo people have been excluded from the standard gauge railway project in Nigeria and other infrastructure development in the country in general due to dubious political reasons. Also, it is a known fact that standard gauge is the most widely used and the most efficient railway gauge globally for both passenger, goods, and freight transportation system, again worldwide. However, it is a known fact that narrow gauge lines are inferior, substandard, and outdated compared to the standard gauge railway lines. It should be recalled and noted that the deteriorated and abandoned old Eastern Railway line was built on a narrow gauge, and it would have been necessary and appropriate to upgrade them to a standard gauge tracks. Now, before I get into the specific of this discussion and submissions, I need to describe the differences between the narrow gauge and the standard gauge tracks. Now, you the viewers are looking at the video of both the standard gauge and narrow gauge tracks. As you can see from this video, the narrow gauge tracks have two rails closer together than the standard gauge tracks. Standard gauge tracks has a track width of 1.435 meters or 4 feet 8.5 inches. And the narrow gauge, on the other hand, has a track width of less than 1.43 meters or 4 feet 8.5 inches. Narrow gauge railways are typically used in areas where space is limited and the terrain is difficult to navigate, and it does not appear to be the case in the area associated with Eastern Railway network. It is a known fact that Eastern Railway is a very busy line, and installing narrow gauge tracks will require frequent maintenance and would cost more to maintain than the standard gauge tracks. Even the former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, explained that the Buhari federal government administration opted for narrow gauge track for the Port Harcourt Maiduguri rail line because of lack of funds for the construction of a standard gauge line on this route. However, it should have been necessary and appropriate for the Buhari government to have used the available funds and resources to construct the required kilometers of the standard gauge tracks for the phase 1 of the Eastern Railway project, while the next administration, in this talking about Tinubu administration, will continue or complete the next phase of the project. Now, these are my declaration and submission on the ongoing construction of the narrow gauge railway track from Port Harcourt City in the old eastern region of Nigeria to Maiduguri City in the north central region of Nigeria. My first declaration is that narrow gauge tracks can only withstand the weight of a smaller sized train engines, thereby limiting the passenger and freight capacity of the trains that run on them, which means that narrow gauge railways are not able to carry as much freight or passenger as standard gauge railways. My sincere hidden revelation is that by constructing the narrow gauge tracks on this route, the Buhari regime was indirectly limiting and restricting the capacity of the old eastern region people from engaging in large-scale transportation of importing and exporting goods and supplies from their business center to the seaport, airport, and other major industrial facilities within Nigeria and beyond. My second declaration is that the narrow gauge tracks cannot withstand the high speed of up to and over 200 miles per hour that is associated with modern high-speed trains, thereby making the trains that run on them on the narrow gauge track less efficient for long-distance transportation, which means that narrow gauge railway trains deliver their passengers and freight at least 60 minutes later than standard gauge railway trains. My sincere hidden revelation is that by constructing the narrow gauge tracks on this route, the Buhari regime was indirectly, intentionally making delivery of passengers and freight services less efficient in the old eastern region of Nigeria. My third submission is that narrow gauge tracks are not as stable as standard gauge tracks, and they are more easily to wear and tear and derail. This means that the maintenance cost will be higher over the long term than the standard gauge tracks. Again, it is a known fact that Eastern Railway is a very busy line, and installing narrow gauge tracks will require frequent maintenance and would cost more to maintain than the standard gauge tracks. My fourth declaration is that the conversion or the transition between the two gauges at the break of the gauge, where the narrow gauge line meets the standard gauge tracks that were installed in other regions of Nigeria, would lead to passengers and cargo on the narrow gauge train to change trains and requiring transloading or transshipping of passengers and freight, thereby causing delays and additional costs and inconvenience to travel on narrow gauge train. It appears that the Buhari administration was intentionally isolating the entire population of the old eastern region of Nigeria from the rest of the country. Now, thanks for watching this video. Please click the like button and share this video, very important, with your friends and relatives. Also, click the subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It does not cost you anything. Now, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Thanks again.